Hey, here was our old friend Gene Morris, the Nichols County High School football coach, and another year, Gene. Do you ever get tired of doing this?
No, I enjoy it.
After all the years you've been in? It's been a few years now. What is the What's the best thing about football season, especially this time of year?
It's just the player relationship, player development that you get into, and it's the camaraderie with the community. And I like the competition. I think it's I think that's one of the motivating factors is being having a competitive spirit in myself. I just enjoy that and get these guys prepared and working towards goals together.
You got an outstanding running back in Kaleb Clark. And I was talking to him. It occurred to me a couple of years ago. He had a big game against Meadow Bridge, kind of signaled his coming in or coming of age as a varsity football player.
Right.
Do you see it that way? Did that really give him a lot of confidence moving forward? I mean, now he's the only guy last year of all the great backs we had in this area that put up 100 yards in every game. Did you see that game?
Given an opportunity to catapult yourself into that picture just showed us his ability to run the football, the patience that he had behind his offensive line, and the run after contact and the yards to gain. And so it was just Kaleb getting out there and doing his stuff, and he does a very nice job. And then last year, it spoke for itself about that group that he had in front of him, and hopefully we'll be able to maintain that this year. But given that opportunity and seeing what you can do on Friday night and the excitement and the adrenaline that flows through you, I think Kaleb did a real nice job and kind of gives us that confidence that we were looking for out of him.
You kind of, after a while, did you just kind of expect that we know we're going to get a good 100 out of him tonight? Because he did it every week.
Quite honestly, it's up to that offensive line, but he's always got that ability and that knack to move the pile forward and to gain yards after contact. And, he is a competitor as well. And that's just one of the things that you look for, somebody that's going to get out there and help you control the line of scrimmage. And I think he does a great job with it.
It's got to be a comfort zone for a guy like him to knowing he has a lifelong, and I mean in almost entire lifelong friendship with one of your linemen, Roman Milam. Those guys, I think they were in the same daycare together. Don't even remember when they met because it's been so long ago. Do you, in your years coaching, do you notice that things like guys that have been friends longer tend to maybe perform better because they know each other so well?
It's just a comfort. I mean, it really is, and that chemistry's there. And they kind of feed off each other a little bit, and they work for each other. I mean, they really do. And it's one of those that in our community, a lot of these guys, same daycare together, same grade schools together, same little league system together, and I mean, it's just that bond that they've developed ever since. Some of them, like you said, some of them when they were just infants, basically, in the daycare situation, playing together.
You get like elementary school people meet and they become friends for life. But I mean, those guys were still in diapers.
Well,
when they've been, that's probably doesn't happen every day.
It doesn't, but they're again, like you said, they probably don't remember a lot of it, but they're just so familiar with each other.
It's
just
like
they've been there forever. Yeah, they've been there with each other forever.
We'll talk about Roman as a leader. He seems he's a pretty jovial guy, likes to have a good time, but he also seems to be a leader. His brother was here, which a little legacy thing there. You talk about him as a leader and what you expect from a guy up on your line. Like you had that in Bryson Phipps last year. It's Roman Milam now.
Yeah, there's that two sides of him. When you're talking to him and we're talking to him in this environment, he is a nice jovial guy. But you put him on the field and that there's a little switch there. Something happens and it's about winning, and that's the guy that they're going to lean on and look to. And he wants to get the job done. He's going to help motivate them to get the job done as well. And he's going to lead by example and get after it and hustle and try to make things happen out there on the field. And like I say, off the field, you couldn't get a better guy. You really couldn't. He'll do stuff for you. I mean, he's nice and he's well mannered, and I think he does a super job off the field and on the field.
You got three phases: offense, you got defense, then you got special teams. And for whatever reason, it seems like, especially on returns, and that might be related to the player. But why is it your team seem to always stand out on special teams? You work more maybe than other teams on that aspect, or do you just have players that fit that bill as special teams players?
I don't know if we work any harder than anybody else or any more than anybody else, but I do know we put a lot of time into it. We put a few minutes every day into practice for special teams of some sort, whether it's the punt side, the kickoff side, extra point. It doesn't make any difference. We always know that that's a big phase of the game, and we want to work on it continuously. And you just kind of try to find the guy that fits. It's like your offense. You want to find the guy that can run the ball and the guy that can throw the ball. All that. Who's best suited to run the offense you want, and how we return the ball and what we're going to do with it. And we look for those kind of guys.
And you have one special guy there, right? I mean,
yes.
I think he's back.
Wes Hill is back, and I think he does a tremendous job. And it's nothing that we do. It's just his knack to be able to see the open field and be able to see where the holes are and where the gaps are and attack them.
I think at one point he had a return for a touchdown in 3 straight games.
Yeah, 3 consecutive games.
Really see that? I mean, just talk about that. You've been around for a long time. I've been covering it for a long time. Don't know that I've ever seen a guy in 3 straight games.
No, I don't think we've had anybody for 3 straight games. I can think a couple years back with Tyler Sedlock having several punt and kickoff returns as well for touchdowns. And there again, it's just that ability to see the open field. And Wes does such a tremendous job with it. And if you have some gaps or seams, he's going to find them. And we work hard on blocking and creating the right angles and creating him some seams, and then he takes it from there. He really makes the guys that are blocking and staying on blocks, which is extremely important. He wants to make them right, and he does a real good job with it.
I think most of us have done this for a while, and if we think of Nicholas County football, we think of Gene Morris, obviously. Coach, what in the world do you do in the off season when there's no football going on?
Well, a lot of times it's weight room, and then it's preparing for the next season, and then there's times when you just want to cut all the noise out, and when that happens, I'm kind of an avid reader, and I like to sit down with a good John Grisham book and just take some time and take it to myself and get everything turned off. I'm talking about kind of put the phone on silence and make sure there's no outside interference, and just take a couple hours maybe and just sit and read.
Well, try to get a little articulate with you here and say, what do you like about Grisham as an author that makes you keep going back to more of his novel?
Well, it's just the stories in general. I mean, I just like the approach of it. I like the plots, and I like the intricacies of the law, and a lot of those are based on that. And there's some very interesting stories. A lot of them sometimes are based out of towns in West Virginia, and I think that's also kind of a neat concept that he has.
What about Summersville? You need a good John Grisham Summersville, and what would it be?
Well, I have no idea what it would be, but I'm sure it would be something to either do with mining or the lake.
All right. Hey, and the lake, everybody that has been a senior around here at some point has had senior skip day, and they've gone to Summersville Lake. What do guys at Nicholas County do?
Well,
we're on the Golly or something.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, there's always something to do around here, and that's just it. If you like being outdoors, you're in the right spot.
Hey, Gene, I appreciate the time. Good luck to you guys this year.
Thank you.